Kenya's recent celebration of the signing of a new constitution was almost overshadowed by an uproar over the invitation of Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir. Mr. Bashir has been indicted by the International Criminal Court, charged with genocide and crimes against humanity. In part 2 of my interview with Elkanah Odembo, Kenya's ambassador to the U.S., I asked him why his government decided to ignore the arrest warrant issued against President Bashir.
The Sudan issue should not be viewed in such simplistic terms. Kenya is a neighbor of the Sudan. Kenya has, over the years, seen Sudan go through a civil war. We felt it, we saw it, we experienced it. We are such a central player in the peace process in the Sudan. The comprehensive peace agreement that brought peace in the Sudan was signed in a stadium in Nairobi. We as Kenya are the guarantors of this comprehensive peace agreement. In another 4 months, in another 5 months, January of 2011, the Sudanese will have a referendum. Our role as a guarantor and a key and a central player in the peace process in the Sudan runs up until the referendum in the Sudan. It is very important for people to have that context in place.
Yes. Now, would you say that perhaps what hasn't been made clear in the past is that Kenya, as such a critical player in the peace process in Sudan, if it shall respect the ICC warrant of arrest, it will jeopardize the role it's playing?
The African Union has, put it in black and white and wrote and petitioned the ICC and then subsequently resolved. And we are bound by the resolutions of the AU. That's the body on the continent that we most closely identify with, and in solidarity with the decision that was taken by the heads of state, that it is not in the interest of the Sudan or the region or the continent to arrest President Bashir on African soil. And some people will tell you that the arrest of President Bashir anywhere on the continent would result in an instant civil war, bigger and more devastating than the war that the Sudan went through over a period of 20 years. So there are some sensitivities that I think the world has not been aware of. But let me just say also, Vincent, that in terms of our relationship with Bashir, he is the head of state of the Sudan. He was sworn in just the other day, and the UN was represented at the very highest levels at the swearing-in ceremony the other day. We also have a relationship with the ICC. There is an ICC team in Nairobi. In fact, quite a number of the cases and the witnesses and the evidence that was given about the atrocities and the crimes that have taken place in Darfur, the witnesses were able to provide those witnesses sitting in refugee camps in Kakuma in Kenya.
So given the position of the African Union and the African countries, we would say safely that Omar al-Bashir is not likely to be arrested in an African country.
As of now, the resolution of the African heads of state, which they reiterated at their summit in Kampala, was that it is not in the interest of the continent, of the region, of peace and security in the Sudan and the region to arrest President Bashir. Now, after the referendum, I have no idea, what direction things will go. Things may very well change. The outcome of the referendum will require that the African Union take another look at its relationship with the two Sudans at that point and see, how to then make adjustments. It's important that the African leaders adjust according to the situation and the reality on the ground.
Ambassador Odembo says Kenya is committed to helping its politically unstable neighbors achieve peaceful resolutions to their internal conflicts.